In our last episode, we arrived at the hub, the center of commerce in the wasteland, possibly one of the largest post-apocalyptic cities in the world. After arriving at the entrance, we traveled to the merchant marketplace, where we took some odd jobs for the Crimson Caravan, and got to know Mitch, the general goods vendor, Beth, the guns vendor, Mrs. Stapleton, the librarian, and Lorenzo, the loan shark. We'll continue exploring the hub by leaving the merchant marketplace to the east and arriving at Old Town. Upon arrival, we see a few hub policemen in combat armor and a bunch of poorly dressed skags walking around. This, after all, is the slum of the hub. The skags have pitiful and generic dialogue. "You can have my old place," says one. "Where's my dog?" says another. We'll start by exploring this northwesternmost building. It has 2 garage doors, one of which says loading only on it, but this is just a crash house for many of the skags who live in Old Town. We don't even find any containers here. The building right next to it is Jake's high-powered weapons shop. Ian has been here before. He says, "Jake's Weapons, high prices, but really good guns." "Welcome to Jake's," says Jake. "I've got some great merchandise in stock. Feel free to look around." If we ask him what he's selling, he says, "I deal in high-end arms. The best stuff you can find this side of the Brotherhood, and since the Brotherhood doesn't deal with outsiders, I've gotta say I'm the best. I have a sniper rifle, and you would be hard-pressed to find flamethrower fuel anywhere else in the wastes. Oh yeah, I've got a Geiger counter too. Very rare." If we ask him more about the sniper rifle, he says, the DKS is a fine long-ranged weapon. It was originally .308, but we rechambered it for the more common .223 round. We tuned the barrel too. Most importantly, check out this trigger. Smooth, huh? The trigger breaks perfectly now. Overall, this is a good choice for hunting any type of animal. He then goes on to explain to us how radiation works in the wasteland, how it's invisible, and we won't know that we've been irradiated until it's too late. He talks about a Geiger counter which he can sell to us. The Geiger counter is the only item we can use to measure our character's radiation level. In Fallout 1, the Geiger counter is not built into the Pip-Boy. We can accumulate up to 149 rads before experiencing negative side effects from becoming irradiated. But there's only one spot in the entire game of Fallout 1 where we need to worry about becoming irradiated. And if we take enough Rad-X before entering, we don't need to worry about checking our radiation level, which makes the Geiger counter unnecessary. However, the sniper rifle he talked about is superb. This is one of the earliest moments where we can find the sniper rifle, and it does function as an end-game weapon for a guns build. It deals between 14 and 34 damage and has a range of 50. That said, it has some of the highest AP consumption of any weapon in the game. It costs 7 AP to use VATS and make a targeted shot, and regular attacks outside of VATS cost 6 AP. On the upside, it uses .223 full metal jacket ammunition, which is the same ammunition used by the .223 pistol that we got from Irwin after defeating the raiders at his farm in yesterday's episode. Since ammunition does have carry weight in this game, and .223 ammunition is fairly common, I found it handy to play most of Fallout 1 with the .223 pistol and the sniper rifle, requiring me to carry only one type of ammunition at all times. After I leveled my energy weapons skill high enough, I was able to give the sniper rifle to Tycho, who is devastating with it. Now, it is pricey, costing 4,196 caps, but the quests here in the hub, as we will soon learn, pay very well. And by the time we're done, we should have more than enough to purchase the sniper rifle. Once we have our sniper rifle from Jake, we can head out and move to the building directly to the east. This is Vance's drug shop that we learned about from Lemmy in yesterday's episode. And he doesn't wait for us to initiate dialogue. He approaches us immediately. "What can I do for you?" he says. Now, if we didn't pay Lemmy in yesterday's episode, Vance here distrusts us. But if we spoke to Lemmy, or if our charisma and barter skills are high enough, Vance here is friendly, and we can purchase from his shop. Most importantly, Vance here sells Rad-X. Now, it's tempting to buy a whole lot of it, but remember, as I said a moment ago, there's only one spot in the game where it's necessary. Each piece of Rad-X will last for 2 days. It grants us 50% radiation resistance, but it degrades after 1 day to only 25% radiation resistance, and then it completely wears off after 2 full days. However, if we take 2 Rad-X, we effectively get 100% radiation resistance for 24 hours. The place where we'll need it can easily be explored in less than 24 hours, so really, we only need 2 of these ever in the entire game. After buying from Vance, we can ask him who his friends are. We learn that his guards are called Justin and Chad. They're here to make sure we don't cause any trouble. But we've got what we needed from Vance, and so we'll head on out. Moving south, we find an L-shaped building. If we try to head through the front door, we see that the lower portion of the L simply shares a wall with the rest of it. Here we find a 2-room house. To enter the upper portion of the L, we have to enter through a door on the western side. Inside, we find a bunch of skags walking around, but we see a room at the top, and in the room, a staircase leading to a basement. In the basement, we find a long corridor. At the end of the corridor is a locked door that we can unlock for 25 experience. Moving forward, we find 2 more locked doors that we can unlock for more experience. If we open up and head through the right one,
your bones are scraped clean by the desolate wind. Your vault will now surely die, as you have.
oh, we walk right over a trap. And at lower levels, this trap can disintegrate us. We could try to use the trap skill to detect and disarm it, or if instead we go through the left door and walk down the left part of this hallway, we can sidestep it altogether. At the end of the trapped room is another locked door. After unlocking it, we find 3 people in a room: Cleo, Jasmine, and Smitty. If we try to talk to Cleo, we can ask her to tell us about the Circle. She says that if we're lucky, we could consider ourselves part of the Circle by the end of the day. But she doesn't elaborate on what she means by that. We could ask her about Decker from the Maltese Falcon, whose reputation we've become well aware of by now, and she says we don't discuss Mr. Decker in polite company. The woman next to her is Jasmine, but she doesn't have much to say. Welcome to the Circle of Thieves. Play your cards right, and you're in. And Smitty just says that he doesn't talk with outsiders. In the bottom of this room, we find another person hanging out in a bedroom. This is Loxley. Really? As in Robin of Loxley?
Bloody fine job making it through the defenses, mate. I'm rather impressed. Toss me your name.
What's it to you?
What's it to me? It's simple, really. Tell me your name, or we show you the door.
You talk like an idiot.
It's a little gift from me, darn mum. Actually, a few generations before that. Do you like it?
No, it hurts my ears.
Oh, quite a little attitude. But we're all friends here, aren't we?
I don't see why.
Oh, broken heart. Our chance for camaraderie lost. Jasmine, show this little sod the door.
But she never comes for us, so instead we can talk with him again.
What the hell do you want?
Hey man, what did I do? Why so hostile?
I don't like you. Don't know why, don't care.
Well, you're just an idiot then, aren't you?
Thanks for such a lovely moment. Jasmine, show our guest out.
Well, that didn't get us anywhere. Instead of being rude, we can try to be polite. When he asks us how we like his accent, we can say, "It suits you."
Why, thank you. Have to work a bit to keep it with so little refinement about, don't you know? But enough of that. Loxley's the name, and yours is?
I'm Oxhorn.
Quite pleased to make your acquaintance, actually. For now. Let's get the other bit of politeness taken care of, shall we? What the bloody hell are you doing here?
We have a number of options. We could say, "I'm taking you all to jail."
Oh, that's quite amusing. Take us to jail, will you? And how, may I ask, do you plan this feat?
Just come along quietly, and no one will get hurt.
Oh, quite a little attitude. But we're all friends here, aren't we?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, a little back and forth. I like someone who plays the edge. I think you'll be a great addition to our merry little band. What say you?
Well, maybe. But first, tell me, what is this place?
This is the famous Thieves Circle. I thought you would have known this, seeing as how you made it through all the defenses and whatnot. But no matter, You're quite promising, and the Circle could use someone like you.
No thanks. I would like to ask you some questions, though.
You must be joking. You think I'd fall for a line like that? Get out, you commoner!
Or we can say, sure, what do you want me to do?
Quite simple, really. You prove yourself as a thief. Succeed, and the world is yours. If not, then you'll never see us again. Except if you come looking. And if you don't understand, that last bit is a threat.
Wait a minute, are you threatening me? Do you mean you'll move this whole place if I fail? Or try to kill me?
Oh, what do you take me for? If you want cold-blooded murder, talk to Decker and his lot. If you fail, which seems much more likely at this point, we will simply disappear. Now then, care to try or not?
Not.
Well, then why the bloody hell are you here? Sightseeing the ambiance? My handsome face.
You know what, I think you're a total lunatic.
Oh, bosh and bother. Well, quite sorry to hear that, actually. You would have made a fine thief, but the Circle's not for the terminally stupid. So, Jasmine, show our guest the door, please.
Or we can follow a different dialogue path. Backing up a bit, we can say, hello there, Loxley. I'm here to join the Circle.
Oh, how nice. A joiner. Well, you've worked hard enough for a look-see. But if you really want to join, then you'll have to take the second test.
What was the first test?
Haven't figured it out yet, have we? The first test was just getting here. That's the only reason I'm considering you. It's so simple. In the Heights, you'll find Darren Hightower's home all plump and ripe for the picking. Are you ready for life? Do you accept the challenge?
Oh, it sounds scary. How about I pass?
Oh, no. I'm so afraid. Life is so hard. Loxley, I'd rather be a coward for all of my life than to have a single moment of triumph. Just another wanker, aren't you? Out.
On second thought, sounds great.
Okay, that's the spirit, mate. Just talk to Jasmine in the room outside this chamber. She'll give you details, a map, and a few little goodies to help you on your way. But remember, if you even think about ratting us out to the cops, we'll be a memory before they arrive. But enough gloom. Cheerio, good luck, and ta-ta.
Heading over to Jasmine, she now opens up and tells us a bit more. She says the Darren Hightower's estate is located in the Heights. This is the western spoke of the hub. And even though it isn't spoken here, we learn from the Fallout official strategy guide that Darren Hightower is the leader of the water merchants. That's why he's so wealthy. He has a number of guards on duty, and a minimum of 2, depending on the time of the day. We'll find the necklace in a strong box, which is likely to be booby-trapped. She then hands us a couple of flares and some lockpicks, and a bottle of Nuka-Cola to help make our job easier. She ends by saying, try not to kill Mr. Hightower. He is one of our favorite people. We can ask her, what do you mean by favorite? And she says that he has been their benefactor on many occasions. If we kill him, someone smarter might take his place, and they wouldn't like that. So we need to go and steal a necklace, but not kill Darren Hightower. Heading upstairs, we can leave this building. On our way out of Old Town, we pass another building right next to the western exit. However, if we open the front door, we immediately get attacked by a bunch of thugs inside. And this proves to be a very difficult battle.
Your life ends in the wasteland.
Despite multiple attempts, I wasn't able to kill them at this level. We'll come back at a later date to find out exactly what's going on here. For now, we've got a job to do, so leaving Old Town, we can head back to the merchant marketplace. But along the way, we pass by the Maltese Falcon. Since we're here, we might as well finally meet this Decker face to face. Heading inside, if we wanted to, we could gamble at the roulette table or the slot machine. This is an easy way to earn a lot of money earlier in the game if we have a high luck skill. But my character doesn't, so I'm going to avoid these for now. Instead, we'll go to the bar and talk with the man standing by the back door named Kane. If we try to talk with him about the water chip, he tells us to stop wasting his time. And if we give ourselves up as being a goody two-shoes by saying, "I'm cleaning the world of all that is evil," we lock ourselves out of being able to work with him or Decker. Instead, when we say that we need to talk to Decker, he says, "In regards to what?" We could say, "I want to talk with Decker about a job." He then says, "Who sent you?" Well, we have a number of options. We know that Beth, the guns merchant, doesn't hold Decker in high regard, so it's probably not wise to say that she sent us. We know that Loxley and the Thieves Guild don't even want to talk about Decker, so it's probably unwise to say that he sent us. And obviously we shouldn't say that the sheriff sent him. The only person we've met so far who even likes Decker is Lorenzo, the loan shark, and he in fact told us to go and talk with Decker. So we'll say Lorenzo. Or we can say, "That doesn't concern you. Now show me to him." In which case, Kane takes us to Decker, but gives us a warning. We arrive in the basement of the Maltese Falcon.
So, you're looking for a job. How fortunate. I have one that needs doing. But where are my manners? What's your name?
What business is it of yours?
Everything is my business in the hub. Either tell me or you may leave.
I'm not telling you anything.
I see. My assistant will show you to the door.
We arrive upstairs, and we're locked out of all of Decker's quests. So instead, we need to be polite. What's my name? My name is Oxhorn.
Well, the pleasantries are now concluded. Do you wish to hear about the job?
That's why I'm here.
Background. There's a certain merchant who's, how to phrase this, not cooperating fully with the underground.
And the job?
Quite simple. Hunt down the merchant and his wife, and exterminate them.
Do you mean kill them?
All a matter of semantics, but yes, kill them. Will you take the job?
No, that would be wrong.
I must confess feeling a bit disappointed in you. But these things happen. You will remember, this is confidential. Good day.
In which case we arrive upstairs and we're again locked out of the quest. "Leave," says Kane, "I don't have the patience." Or instead of declining, we can say, "How much does it pay?"
It's standard pay. 500 caps to start. Another 2,500 when the job is done. Will you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Very nice. The merchant lives in the Heights, on Barter Street and Thunder Avenue. Your initial pay will be handed to you on your way out.
And we arrive back at the Maltese Falcon. So Loxley and Decker are sending us to the same person. Only Loxley wants us to steal his necklace but keep him alive. Decker just wants us to murder him. We can speak with Kane to get more details, and he tells us almost everything that Jasmine did. We can find him in his house in the Heights, and he's surrounded by guards. But then he warns us. Don't even think about going to the police, he says. That's the worst mistake you could ever make. And with that, he gives us an advance, 500 caps. We can head down the road to the west and enter the Heights. The building on top is the Guards Barracks. This is where the guards retire to every night. But we don't find anything of interest in the house. The building on the bottom is Mr. Hightower's private home. Now, there are a number of ways we can go about doing this. If we arrive during the day, we can walk to the front door, which is guarded by a guard. If we try to access the door, the guard says, "Get away from the door." Nobody gets in there without going through me first. "Can I help you?" he says. And all we have to do is say, "Yes, I'm here to see Mr. Hightower." And he says, "Okay, go in." Some guard. But as soon as we enter, we are approached by his assistant, who says, "What is your business here?" If we say, "What business is it of yours?" he ejects us from the house. If we say, "I've come to kill Mr. Hightower," he and all of the guards turn hostile. If we say, "I have news for Mr. Hightower," he says, "Whatever it is, you can tell me. Mr. H is busy right now." If we say Decker has put a contract out on Mr. Hightower's life, he says, again? What a fool Decker is. He then goes on to show us his gun and points out 5 deep scratches on the gun that mark each of the assassins that this guard has personally killed. If he finds out that we're the assassin, he kills us immediately, giving us no opportunity to warn Mr. Hightower, or we can bypass all of this by simply saying, I must speak with Mr. Hightower when we enter, in which case he says, sure, but I'm watching you. When we arrive in Mr. Hightower's room, Mr. Hightower says, who are you? And who let you in? We have a number of options here that all have pretty much the same result. We can kill him a number of ways by saying, my name is Death and I'm here to kill you, or I come here with a message from Decker. If we say that your life is in danger and I needed to speak with you, he actually turns hostile. We even have an option to pay him 100 caps, but this just leads to us being expelled from the house. If we try to be snarky and tell him that we love him, he expels us from the house. So there's really no point in going inside to talk with the guy. We now have 2 ways to go about this. We can simply kill everybody, which I found to be fairly easy, especially with the sniper rifle. Or if we want to minimize loss of life, or simply fulfill Loxley's quest and ignore Decker's quest, it's better to arrive at night. If we do arrive at night, we are given one warning by the guards that at nighttime they open fire upon strangers. This was our one and only warning. The next time they'll simply start shooting at us. So to get by, we need to activate our sneak skill. The sneak skill which doesn't work if we're always running, which likely most of us will be doing. So if we change the game settings to walk instead of always run, we can turn on the sneak skill and then sneak south around Hightower's building. We can watch while all of the guards go to the guard barracks, but there are still 2 guards posted outside. Now, I suppose it's possible to sneak inside without being detected, but I didn't find a way to do so. That said, my sneak skill is pretty low. No matter how many times I tried to sneak through the front door, the guard always spotted me and opened fire. But in this way, all we have to do is kill the 2 guards outside. If the fight takes place towards the bottom of the map, the rest of the guards in the barracks aren't alerted. So this is the easiest way to gain access to the building. Then, once we're inside, we see that Darren Hightower and his wife are in their bedroom. We can then sneak into his safe room, where we find a locker on the ground. However, it's booby-trapped. But if we survive or disarm the trap, inside, we find the necklace. With the necklace in hand, and if we spared the lives of Darren Hightower and his wife, we can head back to the Thieves Circle in Old Town and check in with Loxley.
Oh, how nice to see you again. Do you have a little something for me?
My resignation. I decided not to take your stupid test.
Stupid? Oh. I'm so disappointed you feel this way. Ah, well. Our little circle will just have to carry on without your scintillating presence. So sad. Jasmine, the door for our guest, and no return privileges,
Or we could say, I didn't get it yet.
Then what the bloody hell are you doing here? Shoo, go away. Only this time, come back with the necklace.
We can say, here's the necklace, even if we don't have it.
Oh, how funny. I really must tell you, though, that I don't care much for this kind of a joke. Kind of a chuckle. Kind of a put one over on the old Loxley thing, huh? Tell you what, one more chance. Bring the necklace here.
Or if we do have it, we can say, here's the necklace.
Ha! Well done! Congratulations! You're now a member of the world-famous Thieves Circle. Let's get Jasmine over here and throw a topper, shall we?
Strangely enough, even though they ask us to spare the life of Darren Hightower, they don't even mention it if we end up killing him while trying to get the necklace. We can still turn it in to finish the quest. And we can always pickpocket the necklace off of the inventory of Loxley. However, the resale value is only 700. Far less than the 3,000 hubbucks Loxley gave us to steal the necklace. To get the 3,000 hubbucks, we have to check in with Jasmine, and she hands us an electronic lockpick. This is a Watts Electronics micro-manipulator fingerstuff electronic lockpick for defeating electronic locks and security devices. It weighs 2 pounds. But sadly, after joining the Thieves Circle, that's it. Loxley has nothing else to say to us, Smitty has the exact same dialogue, and there is nothing more to do here. However, if we killed Darren Hightower and his wife, we can now head back to the Maltese Falcon and tell Kane of our success. He says, "Good work," and he hands us 2,500 hub bucks. You see what I mean when I said earlier that we get a lot of money by completing the quests here in the hub? These two alone have already covered the cost of that sniper rifle. When this job is done, we can ask Kane if he has any more jobs. He says all right and sends us to the basement, where again, we talk with Decker.
Good day again, my friend. I have another job for you. Are you interested?
Sure.
Excellent. You see, the last job I gave you was a test, and you did exceedingly well. Now comes a job of importance. As you may know, the children of the cathedral have been gaining influence in this town. And frankly, I won't stand for it.
So, what do you want me to do?
A small matter. Kill the High Priestess Jain. Once she's gone, this little nuisance will be ended. Interested?
Absolutely.
I believe I'm beginning to like you. The pay is 1,000 up front and 4,000 upon completion. And trust me, I'll know when it's done. Talk to Kane on your way out. He'll provide you with details.
Back upstairs, we can talk with Kane, and he gives us 1,000 hub bucks. He points us in the direction of the children of the cathedral and says that he wants no witnesses left alive. To find the children of the cathedral, we move to the southern spoke of the hub, where we find the water merchants. But instead of heading to the water merchant's shack, we can enter the first building to the left. We see two big banners with a radiation symbol flying just outside the shack. Inside, we see a church with people lying on the ground. Wait a minute, are they dead? But no, they're not dead, they're just sort of lying there. They're labeled as patients, but we can't talk with them. We find a guard to the north and some guy named Thorndyke standing behind a pulpit. The guard doesn't have much to say. He's a simple hired hand. If anyone bothers these space cadets, he says, I kill them. You got a problem with that? He doesn't really like talking. After this, he says, can't talk. The boss don't like it. Sorry. So heading on over to talk with Thorndyke, when we ask him what this place is about, he says that the church is many things to many people. For some it is a place of healing, for others it's a place where stray souls can be gathered and put on a productive path. He says that he heals people under orders from the Holy Flame, whomever that is, who operates out of a place called the Cathedral. When we ask him about the cathedral, all he tells us is that it's a very beautiful place, though he says that it's a bit overcrowded these days. Sounds like the children of the cathedral have been doing a bit of recruiting. The Holy Flame is their master, and the cathedral is far south of the hub. And together, the children of the cathedral pray for peace and unity. Unity with a capital U. When we ask him about peace and unity, he says that peace and unity is forged by war and hardship. And he hints that both of these things are soon to come. When we ask him what he has learned from the church, he says that the human species is spiteful, violent, and stupid, unworthy of the Holy Flame. He sees greed and evil everywhere, and unless humanity does something drastic, we shall be burned by Holy Flame again. So we were burned once by the nuclear apocalypse in 2077. What, is he predicting another nuclear apocalypse? Or perhaps humanity will be burned in another way by this Holy Flame. When we press him to define drastic for us, he says, who the heck do you think you are? Get out of my sight! And if we try to talk with him again, he says, I remember your insults, sir. You can rot in the glow before I treat you. And we are locked out of using him as a doctor. In the southern corner of this room, we find a woman in a purple robe on the other side of a door. When we talk with her,
why do you disturb an elder of the cathedral?
We have a number of options. We can say, I have come seeking blessing.
Have you studied the sacraments, child?
Yes, I have.
Then you should know high elders of the cathedral do not just hand out blessings. You will leave now.
If we say no, we haven't, she simply tells us to talk with the guy at the podium. She really doesn't have time for us. Instead, if we say, I'm interested in your church, and I want some information, Do you have any pamphlets?
Continue to mock me, and I will have you thrown out.
But I'm not mocking you. Honest.
Then why are you here? What would bring you to the children of the cathedral?
I am a seeker of knowledge. I would like to learn more.
Are you a child?
Lady, do I look that young to you?
Mocking our holy cause is not appreciated. You will be punished if you continue.
And who's gonna do the punishing? Ooh, I'd like to request the extra hard whip, if you don't mind.
When the children walk the reborn land, your kind will vanish, heretic. Leave now.
Or instead of mocking her, we can say, are you asking whether or not I am one of the children of the cathedral? No, I'm not.
Are you interested in converting to our faith? We can offer you what no one else can.
And what's that?
A lifetime of contentment, fulfillment in the knowledge you're working to rebuild the planet and make it a better place for those who follow.
Oh yeah, I bet there's a lot of rebuilding going on, and I'm sure your cups are overflowing with fulfillment.
Your words do not match your conviction. They burn of the heresy within. You will be cleansed, then forgotten.
If we choose this option, she attacks. But before we get there, we have a couple of other options. We could instead say, sounds very interesting. Could you tell me more? I seek fulfillment.
You are in the right place for spiritual fulfillment. The children of the cathedral seek a peaceful resolution of our world's problems and could use your help.
What are the children's plans for mutants?
Those that can be brought into the fold shall be. Those that resist will suffer.
As it should be. May you succeed in your crusade.
Blessings of the Holy Flame to you, my child.
Sounds like a tough job.
With perseverance, the children can accomplish anything. We will not fail.
Or we could comment on her personality and say, it's obvious that kindness and good temper aren't part of this religion.
You will pay for those heretical words.
In which case, she proves our criticism correct by attacking. Now, this fight is not that challenging. We really only have to kill 3 people. Even though you're seeing me do it on a later character, that's only because I waited until later to do it. The preacher, Jain, and the guard attack. But the patients lying on the ground simply stand up and walk around. They don't attack, though when we get close, they do say, "Oh, mercy, holy flame." We can explore the rooms, which don't have much, except when we explore the top westernmost room. Here, we find the door locked. If we unlock it, we find a bookcase, and inside the bookcase, we find quite a stash. Leather armor, iguana bits, 223 full metal jacket ammunition, Radaway, a Geiger counter, Mentats fruit, a crowbar, Radex, Radaway, Psycho, Buff Out, Super Stim Packs, and, most importantly, a Children of the Cathedral robe. This item will become very useful later, though we won't need it for quite some time, and it does weigh a whopping 10 pounds. So perhaps the best idea is to leave it here until we need it. Not like anyone's gonna take it, the children here are all dead. When Jain is dead, we can head back to the Maltese Falcon and check in with Kane. This is a lot of cash, he says. Decker really wanted her dead. Here's your scripts, and he hands us 4,000 hubbucks. You've proven yourself to be quite useful, he says. When we ask if Decker has any more jobs, Kane takes us back down into the basement for another audience with Decker.
I'm very proud of you. You're ruthless, an attribute I admire. Kane will give you your payment. I hope you're available in the future.
But sadly, Decker doesn't have any more jobs for us. Instead, our reward for getting this far with him is access to his thoughts. We can say, "Can I ask you a few questions?"
Under the circumstances, yes.
And we can get his thoughts on what to find here in the hub.
The merchant market is in the center of town, surrounded by a number of establishments. You have the heights to the west and the old town to the east.
What kind of establishments?
You're in the Maltese Falcon. There's also the all-in-one store, the armory, the friendly lending company, the police, and unfortunately, the children of the Cathedral Hospital.
Doesn't sound like you're a fan of the children. What's up?
They encroach. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Have you heard any rumors?
Someone appears to be stealing whole caravans from the Fargo traders, and the Thieves Circle is causing their normal minor difficulties.
And when done talking with Decker, he sends us back upstairs to the Maltese Falcon. Now, at any point after Decker first offers us a job, we can go to Sheriff Green in the police station and turn him in, even after completing all of his quests. Or if we don't feel like murder is on the agenda, we can turn him in before ever murdering Darren Hightower. If we do, we can say, I have a crime to report. He asks us to spit it out, and we can say, Decker tried to hire me to kill some merchant and his wife. You're kidding, says Sheriff Green. Well, did he ask you personally? We can say that he did, and Sheriff Green says, excellent. I had already heard from other sources about his plan. You're the final confirmation I need to take action against him. This is going to be rough, and I can use any help I can get. I can pay you 1,300 scripts, 300 now, and the rest when we're done. What do you say? If we agree, he says great. He gives us 300 hubbucks and then teleports us to the basement of the Maltese Falcon. How good to see you, Sheriff Green, says Decker. I see you've come to say your goodbyes. With that, the battle commences. We arrive with any companions we have, and both deputies Fry and Kenny, and Sheriff Green. But Decker has his own thugs, the most powerful of whom is Kane. Kane does a shocking amount of unarmed damage, and he has 95 hit points. The frustrating thing about this battle is if he chooses to focus on our companions first. If he does, he'll likely kill them. If we have the firepower, it's smart to focus all of our attacks on Kane. If we can kill him first, then our companions have a much higher chance of surviving. But at this early level, it wasn't just my companions who kept dying, it was me too. I had to come back on a much higher level character to get through this. If we kill Darren and Kane and seriously wound his guards, it's possible that they'll surrender. Another reason to focus on them first. When done, we arrive back at the police station, and we can check in with the sheriff to get our reward. We earn 1,400 experience, and the sheriff says, man, that was one heck of a battle. You did well in there. Now that Decker and Kane are gone, the rest of the underground will fall very shortly. Without leadership, organizations like that can't last. No one around here is smart enough to take up the reins. Here's the rest of your reward. The city owes you a debt of gratitude, and he gives us 1,000 caps. Incidentally, the man next to him is Deputy Kenny, and if Kenny dies during this battle, the Vault Dweller will scream, oh my god, they killed Kenny, those bastards! Which of course is a South Park reference. Now that Kane is dead, we can head back to the Maltese Falcon and open the door to the basement. And now we can loot all of the bodies. We don't find anything terribly interesting, some 10 mils, 14 mils, 45s. Though on Kane's body, we find quite a stash of goods, including a whole bunch of chems. Sadly, we don't find much else by exploring the rest of the basement. There's nothing on the bookshelves or in any of the containers. And with that, we are almost done with exploring the hub, though we did learn something new and something troubling. The children of the cathedral are based out of a real cathedral. They are led by someone calling himself the Holy Flame, and they are predicting another Armageddon. They are predicting that the world will again be bathed in flame. Though we don't know exactly how they know that. Are they guessing, or are they counting on it? We'll have to keep our eyes open for children of the cathedral in the future. The final thing we need to take care of here in the hub is to figure out exactly what's going on with the missing caravans. As we learned in yesterday's video, all the caravans are being affected, but the Fargo traders more than all the rest. Tomorrow, we'll talk with Butch of the Fargo Traders to learn exactly what he's discovered and to see if we can help with his investigation. And finally tomorrow, we will talk with the water merchants. I publish new videos every single week, so if you want to make sure you don't miss tomorrow's episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a shirt shop with unique designs you can't find anywhere else. My designs come in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. They also come on other products as well, smartphone cases, mugs, pillows, posters, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, for episode 6.